Hi, I'm Lane Johnson and I'm running to be the next city councillor for College Ward. I've been door knocking since January and I've been hearing lots of chatter about how we welcome student populations within our residential neighborhoods. We're going to have to do so very thoughtfully and to be as welcoming as possible. And so what I've done is I've reached out to Matt Fleury, who is the councillor for the Sandy Hill area, which is home to the University of Ottawa. So Matt, maybe you can tell us about how you've approached this concern.
Well, our university campuses and colleges in Ottawa represent about 10% of our population when you amalgamate everyone that every year studies in our city, which is an amazing future workforce. At the same time, it does add pressure. For example, here at the University of Ottawa, it's our fourth largest university in the country. It's in the core, but it's within a residential community on the edge of Sandy Hill. And it's grown quite a bit. From when I was a student here, we were about 25,000 students. Now it's 43,000 students. So imagine how many more units, residential units, are needed for students in the community. When I was first elected in 2010, it was chaos. We didn't have the right zoning rules, and we had a growing university. So it took time. It took a lot of time to understand the issue, understand the opportunities. And really what we worked on is bringing together with the community an initiative called Town and Gown. And Town and Gown is this journey. It's this committee that we brought together from the university, the city of Ottawa, students, residents, and myself. And we meet on a regular basis to discuss planning, so future planning objectives, and also really operational things like Student Welcome Week. What do we do as a community to support parents, supports the students that are moving in to the neighborhood? And obviously what you're seeing in your community is a growth of population and the pressure on the residential area. So here in Sandy Hill, we focused over the years on tactical initiatives. About 9 different zoning reports were passed at council to influence what could be built. Now, we're different. Our number of units is much more diversified as we're in the core. So you can already build the units. What was being built was more rooming houses, and the types of buildings that were being built were not meeting the character of the neighborhood. They had rooftops. We weren't managing rear yards or waste, which had a lot of community impact beyond the design and the concerns of seeing those houses being constructed within very diverse, very family-oriented communities.
That's very helpful because our neighbors are talking about those pressures. So it comes to garbage management, parking, so perhaps a little less of a pressure here because you actually have great access to the transit system. Is that
we're very close to the LRT?
Yes, exactly.
And close to amenities. Like students that live in Sandy Hill can easily walk to a grocery store, can easily access transit, access employment as well at the Rideau Center in the Byward Market, and be entertained. So it's a work-life environment here, work-life play environment in my community. But I think, near Algonquin College, I know it well. I think there is very similar attributes: great transit connection, amazing diverse businesses with grocery stores and so on.
Getting there.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's really interesting. At the same time, I can understand the pressure that residences are feeling. I think those conversations need to be immediate, but with long-term objectives. So, for example, here, the University of Ottawa has committed that every student that starts their first year at the University of Ottawa and wants to live on campus should have the right to live on campus. We know that they have a shortfall right now on campus student accommodation. So it's not a resolved issue, but the Town and Gown initiative keeps that strategy and those discussions going. If the university here can sustain that, can grow its portfolio of units on campus, then it changes the dynamic in the neighborhood. And then in the neighborhood, the pressures are different. There's not a magic key that solves it all, but ultimately having the right partners at a table, having a sustained conversation, a mature one, being able to be adaptive as things happen, but also being focused on how can communities live and support one another, which I think is, that's really what you and I were discussing. This is saying Algonquin's great. We're hearing from residents concerned. How can we bring those worlds together of understanding each other a little better?
Yes, and that proactive leadership on these issues so that it's not reactive, so that we don't see that kind of friction between neighbors, to be able to have a solutions-based approach where you want to create a win-win. I don't think it's naive. I think it's what leadership looks like. And so, that's something that I'd be very interested in bringing forward within College Ward. So thank you for sharing that idea with us.
Yeah, residents are really attached to their neighborhoods, and the last thing you want as their representative is to see residents move out.
Yes.
You want to see that continued conversation, and when the building's well built, and I could show you a couple of many spots here in Sandy Hill where you don't even know. It could be students, it could be newcomers, it could be seniors within that apartment structure. So once we're able to bring the right environment that meets the character and the expectation of the neighborhood and reduces that impacts of noise, garbage, design, character, then you're in a different space, and you're able to discuss different things.
Thank you. That's great.